Hello, Real Movie Talk fans. This is Sean Hill. Today we are going to be doing our Oscar show. We're going to give our picks for if we were voting members of the Academy, who we would vote for. And this lovely young lady to my right over here, this is.
Cassidy early,
All right.
co-host, co-anchor.
And she is via satellite right now from her automobile. We do whatever we do to get the shows done. So, all right. So, without further ado, let's run through the list here. So, we're gonna do Best Supporting Actress first. All right. And so the nominees for Best Supporting Actress are Sally Hawkins for Blue Jasmine, Jennifer Lawrence, American Hustle, Lupita Nyong'o for 12 Years a Slave, Julia Roberts for August Osage County, and June Squibb for Nebraska. And if I had a ballot for this category, my vote goes to, and I don't think this will be a surprise to anyone, Jennifer Lawrence for American Hustle.
She did a good job.
And who would you vote for if you had a...
Well, I mean, she did win an Academy Award last year, and she did do a good job. I agreed with her role. However, I'd like to see somebody else get it this year. But I didn't really like any of the other hopefuls, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, that none of them really stood out to me. So I have a feeling that she's going to get the Academy Award because she's Jennifer Lawrence and everybody loved her. But this year, as far as like Best Supporting Actress, I feel like it was just kind of like a weak category all around.
So your vote would be for nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Didn't see that one coming, but hey. I thought Jennifer Lawrence shined in that role. It wasn't a I guess strong lead role, so to speak. She didn't play an important part to the film, but every time she came on screen, I thought she just lit it up. And I was always waiting for her to come back. Whereas the other supporting actresses, I could have, lived or died without their input into the film. So that would be my vote, my decision on that. All right, so that is supporting actress. So I picked Jennifer Lawrence, and Cassidy's opting out. All right, so we move on to the next category, supporting actor, and I'm going to butcher with this name, Barkhad Abidi for Captain Phillips.
Ooh, yeah.
Bradley Cooper for American Hustle, Michael Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave, Jonah Hill for The Wolf of Wall Street, and Jared Leto for Dallas Buyers Club. So, Cassidy, if you had a ballot, and I think I know the answer to this already, but I'm going to ask it anyway, who would your Oscar ballot go to for Best Supporting Actor?
Well, this is the first time that I've ever really. It's been really hard. I was on the cusp, but truth be told, I feel like of all the performances, even Michael Fassbender, who I am in love with, I think Jared Leto should get it. He put more into his character and his role and his performance than I think anybody else did in their performances. Bradley Cooper, I love him. I think he's an incredible actor, and he can play it. He's a very versatile actor. Same for Michael Fassbender. But Jared Leto, he has proven to us that he's talented in more fields than just one, and he's willing to take on risque roles as such to really kind of show what his talents are and how versatile he is. I think he deserves the Academy this year.
Okay, and it may not surprise you that I am in 110% agreement with you. My Oscar ballot vote would go to Jared Leto. I just recently saw Dallas Buyers Club, maybe 4 weeks ago, and up till then I would have voted for Bradley Cooper. But once I saw Leto's performance, he knocked it out of the park. You nailed it. There's really nothing else that I could add to that. You pretty much you summed it up. And I think he will get it. Not just because of sympathy or whatever. But I think he was the best supporting actor of the year. So.
He deserves it.
All right, so we're in agreement. Now let's see if we can continue the trend. So now we're going to move to lead actress. So the nominees are Amy Adams for American Hustle,
Hmm.
Kate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine, Judi Dench for Philomena, Meryl Streep for August Osage County. I can never say that right. And Sandra Bullock for Gravity. So, and if I had a ballot, and this is going to be a controversial one probably, I would vote for Amy Adams for American Hustle. And I'll tell you why. The front runner is Kate Blanchett, and she will probably win. But I thought Amy's performance was more layered than Kate Blanchett. She only had one emotion to play, whereas Amy Adams had different levels to play with her characters. She was actually
Yeah.
playing two characters, sometimes the same character at once, sometimes it's two different characters at two different times, and that's difficult to do. And plus, I think the writing was just better for her in American Hustle. So that's who my vote would go to: Amy Adams, American Hustle. Who you got?
Well, Kate Blanchett bores the crap out of me. Um, I love that she has a pretty face. I love she can bounce back after having babies. God bless her. But Kate Blanchett is Kate Blanchett in every freaking movie. So that to me is boring. It's the same as Julia Roberts. I think Amy Adams is really coming out. 2013 was her year to shine through American Hustle. And she did get the Golden Globe, and I think she deserves it. But
Ooh, but
the role that hooked me in and had me emotionally strapped throughout the whole movie was, oh my God, Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock. Okay, well,
Sandra Bullock, she had me convinced that she was really lost in space. She had me convinced that she was ready to die. She had me convinced. I mean, she was just so into her character. There was no question where she stood. So,
okay.
yeah, I vote Sandra Bullock.
You know, I somewhat agree with you with everything that you said as far as the emotions that she conveyed. But, and this may come out the wrong way, Gravity is such a small movie, and when I say small, I don't mean the scope of it. I just mean there's not really enough meat there, I think, for the Academy to give her the award. She gave a great performance, but I think they look for stuff that's a little bit more sensitive. There we go. Get that out. But I don't disagree, because this is, if you had a vote, and so I definitely agree. And although we disagree, I'm with Amy Adams. You're with Sandra Bullock. So all right. So we'll move on to the male side of things. Lead actor. So we got Christian Bale for American Hustle, Bruce Dern for Nebraska, Chetwell Ejiofor, and I promised myself I would try to learn how to pronounce his name, but I still haven't. But anyway, 12 Years a Slave, Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club, and Leonardo DiCaprio for Wolf of Wall Street. So, Cassidy, if you had a vote, who would you check for the ballot for lead actor?
There is no question in my mind that Leonardo deserves the award. His role in Wolf of Wall Street, he owned it. He owned every scene. Like, I loved watching him. I hate watching 3-hour-long movies. Avatar, yeah, I barely hung in there. Titanic, if it wasn't for the love story, I don't think I could have handled seeing a ship sink for 3 hours. But Leonardo DiCaprio owned that movie. Oh, hey, what's up? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. No problem.
Sorry. Anyways, no, he did own that role. And, Matthew McConaughey, I love him to death. But God bless him, he was just a skinny Matthew McConaughey. Like, that's all he did. He's like, I lost weight. I deserve this role. I'm like, I apologize, but every woman has to lose 40 pounds for a role. So welcome to Hollywood. That was it. Like, I think Leonardo DiCaprio owned it. He deserves it.
Okay, we are in agreement. Leonardo DiCaprio had my vote about half hour into the picture, I'm like, this guy is giving the performance of his already, long career of other good performances that he given. But I think this is the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Um, you mentioned Matthew McConaughey. He's the front runner. He will win because no, you don't think so? Well, let me explain.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay, the Academy they like the weight loss. First of all, they like the noble characters, and they like stories, uplifting stories, and actors who are lead roles give performances in uplifting stories. So that's my thought process in thinking that they win. They're wrong. Leonardo DiCaprio did give the best performance of the year. He was on full tilt the entire movie. I mean it, and we know they shoot movies. This probably took 3 months or so to shoot, but he was in that zone for 3 months or however long it took him to film it.
Yep.
He was in that zone, and that's hard to do. And those speeches that he gave, every one of them were fantastic. So
I love Matthew McConaughey. Like, he had a brief moment in that movie. He's like,
yeah,
mm.
yes.
I loved his face. And then he was like, mm. I'm like, are you kidding me?
And he
Matthew McConaughey, once again, playing Matthew McConaughey in another Matthew McConaughey movie.
and he still had the Dallas Buyers Club weight in that movie too.
I know. He
He
was still skinny.
hadn't put it back on yet. So wow, we agree. Honestly, I thought you would have said Matthew McConaughey for that one. Okay, well, tells you what I know. All right, so last category, last one, Best Picture, the granddaddy of them all. So the nominees are 12 Years a Slave, American Hustle, Captain Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, Philomena, Nebraska, and last but certainly not least, The Wolf of Wall Street. If I had a ballot sitting in front of me, my check mark would go for The Wolf of Wall Street. 3 hours of what I say, boobs, blow, and Benjamins. This movie just enthralled me from the word go. There's never a dull moment, although it's 3 hours. You would think, oh my goodness, what am I going to do every 3 hours? You never know the time goes by. It's hilarious. It's funny. It's sexist. It's over the top. It's rude. It's all those things and more. And it is just flat out the best entertaining movie of the year. So
I agree with you. I really enjoyed the movie, and I enjoyed all of the actors. Jonah Hill, dude, that kid had me rolling in that movie. And honestly, I wish that I could support him in getting Best Supporting Actor, because I love him and he's come so far, and it's his second nomination. But
we got a but.
But I really like 12 Years a Slave.
Wow.
And
okay. All right.
I want it to win Movie of the Year because it had such, like, I liked Michael Fassbender. I liked all of the other actors and actresses. I liked the movie. I just thought it was such a beautiful story, and it was very well written, and it was tastefully done as well. And I liked it. It gripped me, and I really enjoyed that movie, and I support that movie. I loved Wolf of Wall Street. To me, that's a Friday night. I don't know about you.
No, it's definitely not a Friday night. Maybe
the boobs and the blow and all that stuff. That's a Friday night for most of us. All right, let's be honest.
Maybe before I had the gray, but definitely not now. No.
The bottom line is like, my vote for Movie of the Year is definitely 12 Years a Slave, because I think that as far as soundtrack, the screenplay, the actors and acting, everything as a whole, I think 12 Years a Slave has. Wolf of Wall Street has a great screenplay. They knew how to grip and keep us. because it's Scorsese. He knows how to keep our attention.
Yes, he does.
He knows how to keep the movie going,
Yes.
fast paced, fast paced. You don't even realize that 3 hours is going by.
Yeah.
But I think as a whole, when they're looking at the overall scheme of things, I'd like to see 12 Years a Slave. But I don't know. Maybe we'll both be wrong and Her will
And
get
Her
it.
will win. Her's not a bad movie. Okay, I think our viewers might be a little bit stunned that the black guy is choosing Wolf of Wall Street and the white girl is choosing 12 Years a Slaves. This is not a joke, people. This is
Well, okay.
and we didn't discuss this ahead of time, so I'm in it's just as much a shock as you are. So, but let's talk about 12 Years a Slave for a minute, because I agree with you that it will win, and this is again, now the show is again, if we pick the winners, not who's going to win. It will win. There are 3 scenes in that movie that are so emotionally gut-wrenching that I don't see how it won't win. And we'll talk about it a little bit, and maybe it'll spoil it for some people that haven't seen it. But the initial scene where he's captured and whipped, and it's done in an unbroken shot, so you really get the sense, they're really beating, you get the sense of his pain. That scene was heart-wrenching. The scene where he's hanging, where they leave him hanging, and he's just there, and you hear all the sounds that are going on around him, the kids playing in the background, and everybody's going about their business. This guy is
And
here
he's just dangling.
and that little touch where he has like an inch between his foot and the ground, and he keeps trying to get that. And again, with it being an unbroken shot, it just you can't look away. There's nothing else to look at. Your eyes are focused on that moment, and I mean that is just it's great, a great scene. And then the one that sent a lot of people out of the theater crying is the whipping scene, which I don't even want to go into that one because I might start tearing up here. But yeah, those 3 scenes were probably the most gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching scenes I've seen in a movie, probably since Schindler's List or Saving Private Ryan or films of that type. I agree with everything you said. It's a wonderful film. It's an important film too.
It's very important. I feel like a lot of the generation now, my generation as a whole, whether you're white, black, or Hispanic or anything, we forget we have gotten so far away from where we were 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And that baffles me. Like, obviously we're trying to get away from it, but not in the way that we should be. And that's why, like, The Butler and 12 Years a Slave, all of these movies are to remind us what we are trying to get away from, but what we keep, the stereotypes that we kind of get comfortable in. And our ancestors are looking at us like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I didn't do what I did so you could end up being a jerk off living off the government. And that's like for white people, black people, everybody. Like we've just completely come so far from the intentions of our ancestors.
Yeah, I've preached to people to go see the movie and to see it, and there are a lot of people that don't want to see it, and I said it's a tough sit. I mean, it is a tough film to sit through, but again, it is an important film to see, just so you can get understanding of history. And honestly, the movie would have never been made had it not been for Django Unchained. So shout out to QT for making that, or we probably wouldn't have gotten that. So, but yeah, so there you have it. We've given you our picks, and this is if we were picking the winners, not who. Well, we've given you who we think will win also, but we also want to remind you.
Can I dedicate this show to somebody? And the only reason why I say it is because, like, the last show that we did, where we talked about our favorite movies, and we talked about Caddyshack.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I know where you're going. Go ahead.
Yeah, I cried. Harold Ramis is no longer with us, and he was an incredible actor and director, and he he definitely paved a path for a lot of different young directors and
Yes.
actors and comedians. And so I want to dedicate this Academy episode to Harold Ramis because he touched a lot of people's lives and he will continue to do so forever.
Yeah.
So just
Uh,
wanted to say.
oh no, oh no, Ghostbusters, Caddyshack, Animal House. I mean, he was kind of the voice of young comedy back when it was kind of in your face, and the shooting styles were different, and let's be honest, a lot of the stuff was drug influence, which nothing wrong with that. Again, Stripes, Caddyshack, Animal House, to a lesser
Mhm.
extent Ghostbusters, even Groundhog Day. Yeah, he definitely made a mark on American cinema, American comedy, and he will be missed. And it's probably unfortunate now we'll never get a Ghostbusters 3, although the chances of that were slim because Bill Murray was holding out. But at least we have the first one, and to a lesser extent the second one. But yes, rest in peace, Harold Ramis. All right, folks. So that's our show. We do want to remind you that we do have the Oscar contest it's ongoing as of we're shooting this on Wednesday, February 26th. The Oscars are Sunday. And we are having a contest. You pick the winners, and we'll be giving out. Our friends at Wealthy Lifestyle Clothing have generously donated some gear, a couple of shirts, a hat, I believe. So email us at realmovietalk.gmail.com for a ballot. The deadline for submission is 9 a.m. Actually, I'm sorry, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And join us on our Facebook page for our discussion while the Oscars are going on. So we bid you farewell, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Again, I'm Sean Hill.
And I'm Cassidy.
And we'll
Early.
and we'll see you next time on Real Movie Talk.